New developments tonight from the state capitol. Wisconsin's Assembly Speaker has revealed the names of the 3 former state Supreme Court justices as he looks into a possible impeachment of sitting Justice Janet Protasiewicz. Representative Robin Vos announcing he asked former Justices David Prosser, Pat Roggensack, and John Wilcox to investigate after Protasiewicz said she will not recuse from a redistricting lawsuit that seeks to toss out GOP-drawn legislative district boundary maps. Last Friday, the court voted 4-3 along party lines to hear that redistricting challenge. Coming up later in the newscast, our analysts will weigh in on what happens next and whether Republicans will drop this issue or move forward.